Hey everyone, it's James at geometriccharts.com, November 5th, about 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We got the 4-hour chart of Bitcoin, BTC, USD on the Bitfinex exchange. And first of all, it's not investment advice. Second of all, we did break through the resistance line, okay? And this is definitely due to the massive turnaround we saw in Bitcoin Cash and the alts come Sunday. So we had a nice turnaround in the market. Bitcoin looks good from here. Now the question is, can Bitcoin break through 6,800? 6,800 is the next major zone of resistance for Bitcoin, and it has been for a long time now. If it can break through that zone and stay through that and stay above that zone, the tide is definitely changing for Bitcoin. One thing I have to say is, no matter what happens, like on the short term, let me say this, on the short term, I'm bullish on Bitcoin. I'm bullish on the altcoins, unless there's some crazy waterfall event that breaks the support that we're currently on right now. Then I do think there's further upside in this market. From the longer term perspective, we still have massive bearish divergence in this market, and that is a big dark cloud over this market. So yes, call me Mr. Bearish, call me whatever. You know, it is what it is. Somebody has to say it. Somebody has to act level-headed when so many people are going I'm not even going to say the word, but you get what I'm saying. People are going crazy, and they're looking at like 20,000, 40,000, 700 trillion in Bitcoin and stuff like that. Like, there is definitely a monster dark cloud over this market, and there's a lot of volume that gets washed. So you need to use an investment strategy, but on the short term, things look good. On the long term, things still look bad for this market regardless. And it could be due to the market staying within a defined range, okay, from the market makers, we'll call these manipulators just market makers, that they're trying to set the range of this market of where Bitcoin should trade and where the normalization is going to take place. So just like in my past videos, a long time ago, go back through in the history, I talked about it being whittled down to almost horizontal price action, and here we are. And we've stayed within this range fairly well, and it's definitely being suppressed. Bitcoin is under seller domination, and it has been since that 11,000 double top that formed after the 6,000 bottom and thereafter. So it always looked like Bitcoin was going to skyrocket to the moon and blah, 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 but it's clearly being suppressed into a tighter trading zone. So it's going to take a lot for that to be broken, and one of the biggest hurdles for Bitcoin is above 6,800. So price needs to break above 6,800 and stay trading above 6,800, as well as having some follow through in the volume. We can't see this crappy volume where you get like half a billion or a billion injection, and then immediately within like 24 to 48 hours is being washed out. Because then obviously we know how that story is going to end. We've seen this story so many times. But it's not going to be an easy road for Bitcoin to smash through that. And if it is, and Bitcoin just rocket ships through here like it did before, then protect yourself, protect yourself. Because these crazy moonshots that we're seeing, and they all have different faces, but this one being the craziest that we've seen in a very long time, are very short-lived. And the volume's not sticking. So unfortunately, it's clouded, in this bearish sentiment, but on the short term, things look like there's a potential for Bitcoin to maybe start tracking up and start actually moving higher. And if we can get above the 6,800 target zone, then we could start to potentially be headed for a higher high, not something like this, So it's going to take time, but again, on the short term, I feel bullish on this market, and I'm definitely poised for upside. And unless there's some crazy waterfall event and we're smashing through 6,300 and 6,200, then I think there's more upside, potentially up to about 6,800. depending on how price reacts to that zone, is going to determine a lot. But I do not think that's going to happen immediately. I don't think it's necessarily going to happen tonight. It's probably going to take a couple days to trek up. It's been a pretty slow process due to the prior runs. The only fast run we had was this one right here that quickly died out. But I would expect price to kind of just chop its way up if it's going to truly start to move up. And as of now, I definitely think we're on that short-term bull run in this market. But anyways, so that's it. That's it for today's analysis. Things look pretty decent. Again, we pulled right back. Just a basic pullback to retest the downtrend line, sitting right above it. So unless, again, there's a crazy waterfall event, it looks like there's further upside for Bitcoin. One thing, well, I'll say, if you like the video, you like the content, like, comment, subscribe, follow. I do my videos Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And then aside from that, if you see the comments down below that are telling you about their magnificent returns and I recommended blah, 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 and they're leaving a number or email, that's pure spam, that's junk. Just report it to YouTube. I report it as well, but YouTube's very slow to do anything when it comes to spam. So that's just the nature of the beast. If you see the trolls, there's a couple of them. They kind of appear time and time again, and just don't pay attention to those people, right? If no one's adding substance to the conversation, then just ignore those people. You know, there's unfortunately sad people out there, and you just hope the best for them. You know, you hope they turn their life around, but it is what it is. So don't feed the trolls. Delete the spam. You know, unfortunately, it's going to be there. I guess my videos must show up under certain keywords that they're targeting, and there's no fighting against it. The only thing I can do is really just go back and just delete it. But anyways, I thank everybody for their time, everybody for their support, and I will talk to everybody on Wednesday.